Hi everyone, and this is Katie Carney, and this is Katie Carney Stitching. I apologize in advance. I have my fan going. I did turn it down to low just now, but it's warm in here and it is 7:30 at night, so I need to have both my ring light and then I have a light right here so that it's kind of even. And they make me hot. So, you know, it's 86 degrees at 7:30, so it's still pretty warm in Scranton. I hope that you're all well. I have had a fun last couple weeks. Well, fun's the wrong word. I've had a busy last few weeks, and the biggest thing that happened was on Tuesday, my new godson was born. So I know that it's a picture of my phone. Sorry about that. And his name is Nicholas. And you guys have seen him because you have seen, I love that picture of him. Sorry about the color. You have seen his birth sampler. So he is my friend Heather's son, and I have a fully finished object because I made a birth sampler. So this is the Bellatrix Potter Birth Sampler number 1. I'm probably going to be putting this up on Stash Unload because I have no intention of ever using this again. It's a vintage pattern, which is great, but it used a lot of colors, and I have no issues with Beatrix Potter, but it wasn't something that I was into. So there's that. And then I did this project on 18 count Aida with 2 strands, full cross, and I used the called for DMC, and here it is. So I framed this without the glass. This is just a 3-pack of frames that I got at Michael's or Joann's or Hobby, one of the places, that I've used at least one other one for a different birth announcement. This color is very neutral and very popular right now. So there's that. I just framed it. I used a piece of 8x10 mat board that I had gotten on clearance at Joann's, I think. And I just laced it and stuck it in there. I am capable of framing, particularly if it's a normal size. This time I used one of the quilting like corner things that you put, you just clip it on to make your fabric, like to sandwich things together, and I love them. And today I was like, oh, I bet you I could use that to lace this piece, and it worked. It was very helpful because I was able to get it exactly where I wanted it, and then put these on in each corner and flip it over without it moving. So I'm sure you all already do that, but if you don't, I got a pack of these at Hobby Lobby and it was like 20 in a pack, so I decided to get some more, and I ordered them on Amazon and they came in this cute little tin, but I don't like them as much. These Hobby Lobby ones are great. The spring is really nice on them, and they're easy to open and close. So for the extra money, I recommend the Hobby Lobby ones. And that's how I will be doing my framing from now on. So anyway, again, this is a fully finished piece for my new godson. I am going to give Mom the glass. I know she's very big into pictures. So I know she's going to want to take pictures of him with this. And I'll give her the glass so she can put the glass on after she's taken pictures, or she can leave it off, whatever works for her. So there's that. I do have another. It's a start and a finish, and then I have a huge finish. I'm like burying the lead. It's buried on the huge finish that I have, but that's okay. So one of you dear people reached out to me, and you know who you are, and you sent me a lovely package of things, and I am going to show a few of them. And I have written you a thank you card that I have not put in the mail yet because I am the worst. But you sent me a beautiful card with butterflies on it, and one of the things that came in the package was a shepherd's bush kit called the October pin cushion, And I have no chill, so I started it that day. So there it is. And I'm going to tell you, this is my third shepherd's bush kit. And I don't like them very much. So I'm going to flash a little bit of the pattern here for you. So for instance, this pumpkin and this gravestone and this pumpkin, they are empty in the middle, so you wouldn't think that you stitch anything. But when you look at the picture, they're all filled in. Same with this house up here. So what I've discovered is in these patterns, probably because they're handwritten maybe, if it's full coverage, they don't tell you. So I had to go back and fill all that in. It called for 1 strand on 28 count, which I normally do 2, but because it came with the fancy floss, I didn't know if there'd be enough, so I did only use 1, so it's definitely a, what's that word? What do they call it? A primitive look, but it looks fine. There was plenty of fabric, and I probably could have gotten away with using 2 strands, but I was worried I'd run out. So there, let's see, there we go. This was my work project for about 2 weeks. I started it the day after I filmed last time, or 2 days after, something like that. So it's very cute, and it came with this little bead here, that little guy there. I should have ironed this. I had the iron out, I didn't even think about it, but so there's that cute little pin keep, and I will just use, I have lots and lots of fall fabric, so I'm not worried about that. And then it came with the beads. They're like a purpley color. Well, they're purple. They're like a light grape, and then it came with the rickrack. So what you do to finish it is you sew the rickrack and the beads onto the outside of the pillow. I have not fully finished anything other than this framed piece all year, so I'm gonna do it. I have to. I've just been kind of lazy. Oh, and there was fancy-ish stitches. Let's see, what was it called? Grass. And it was just, it said weave in the gray shaded area under the house as shown. So that is not cross stitch, it's woven. Let's see if I can you see that? It came out pretty well, actually. I was pleased. I didn't mess it up. I thought it looked really nice. It was with Oscar. I never want to see Oscar again. And when I show you my giant finish, you'll understand why. So that was that. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to show off some more stuff in a bit. I had another finish, and that was the 1989 Prairie Schooler Santa that I started on like the 4th of July. And is not in this bag anymore. Hang on. So this is the 1989 Prairie Schooler Santa. This is the second of 4 that I plan to do this year. And here it is. So if you remember correctly, I messed up the border. I was short on this side and I didn't notice until I had finished it, added the bird, and started the boot. And so I decided to just, I put the year that is the Santa. I put my initials in this one and the year that I finished it. I put the year in all of them, and the year that it's from in all of them. I don't usually put my initials, but I had the room. So there you go. And there he is. I think he came out pretty well. I was really proud of that wreath, but I wish, so there's a ribbon here in that cream color, and I should have done it in the red. I think maybe not the red, maybe there's in the Prairie Schooler Santas, there's a lighter red. The jacket red is this 221. And there's also this 356. And I should have probably used that for the wreath because I use a 18 count peddler's cloth. And it really, I don't think it showed up very well, but that's okay. If nothing else, the wreath looks good. And believe it or not, the wreath has no mistakes in it. I was very, very careful. And I actually did the wreath before I did anything else because I knew that I was going to have to be fudging quite a bit in this because of how short I was going to be. But I actually think it came out great and I'm thrilled with it. So that's another finish. That's my third, a fully finished and 2 finishes. But then after I filmed last time, we talked about the fact that I needed to work on my August Consider the Lilies and that it wasn't too long. And I thought it was only going to be half of a page around the house because on this side, it had only been like this and the bird. It was very small. And then because this was done already, but on this side, it was all the way to the tree here. So it was pretty intensive stitching, but it didn't take that long. It only took a couple days. And when I was done, I was like, you know, I think I'm just going to finish it. And then I told myself I would finish by the end of August. And you'll notice that it is, well, you won't notice. It's the 19th of August. And I finished this on Sunday and it's Friday. So I finished this almost, 5 days ago. I think that you all remember that I messed this up. So I had changed how I was stitching it. And it turns out that I had less room on this second side than I did over here. So not everything fit. So I just kept on stitching and I finished it last weekend. So are you ready? I did iron this, but it's going to need to be ironed again before I can frame it. Look at how big it is. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is 36 count Winter's Brew by R&R with the called for fancy floss, except for where I couldn't get it. And then there's substitutions that were made by Needlework Corner in Baltimore, and which is who kitted this up for me. Okay, so let's look at what I did this month, shall we? So this month, and I had run out of Havana. So all of the brown here that was supposed to be Havana is not. So I had done down to the letters were done. So the first thing I did was this bird. This is the right side, yeah. So this, really all of this except for the border in the house is what I did. But it was when I got here, like to this tree here, that I decided to just keep going. So you can see, based on this side, whoops, like I couldn't fit this and this in, or this, and then over here, there's some motifs that don't belong, just because I repeated them just trying to fit stuff in. This bird here should be part of a much larger motif. But I'm okay with it because it's mine. This is going to hang in my office. So I measured it and it's about 26 by 21. I don't know what you can see. I hope you can see it all. So this is about 26 by 21. And like I said, I'm going to frame it and put it in my office at work. And I actually celebrated 1 year at my current job yesterday, so that was really exciting. So now I definitely feel comfortable putting this 2 years in the making piece in there. I love it. I am very proud. It's really big. It's huge. This is it's bigger than Lady of the Flag, but it's less dense. But both of them were quite large. So, and then I did put my initials and the year, and I used a light pink color that I liked instead of, I think she called for a brown. But it was the mistake, which I didn't know at the time, happened in this month. That's when it happened. Except it happened in the border and it threw everything off. But what can you do? It's done now. So I went through my attic. I do not have a frame that will work. I have a frame that's too big and also chrome. And I have a lot of wooden frames that are just a titch too small. So I'm going to take this with me up to Hobby Lobby tomorrow. My Hobby Lobby has an excellent framing section. I'm going to see if anything will work. I would use a poster sized frame, but I only have, what is this? I have 2.5 inches on one side of this because when I ordered this, she asked how much I liked, like how much room, and I had said 2.5 because that's plenty for me to frame. And it turns out that she gave me more, and I could have really given myself like 4 or 5 inches. Like, look at all that over there. But I didn't know at the time, and I didn't know how big it was going to be. So, and I'm not I'm not a middle starter. I'm an upper left corner starter. So anyway, I'm going to show it off again because it's taken me, I started this January 1st of 2020. And I finished it August, 14th. And like, I didn't even have to stay up late. I think I finished it at like 7 o'clock. Let's just... To be honest, I would love to splurge and have this professionally framed because it's so big and I'm quite worried. And because of the mistake, I know it's not square, so I'd like a professional to do it, but I spent so much money on framing Lady of the Flag that I can't afford it. So I'm not going to do it, but I wish I could. And I could wait a couple months and frame it with like Christmas money, but like I don't really want to wait either. Like, I'm not a person who's good at waiting. I worked for 20-ish months on this. I want it done. Also, I'm gonna sell this on Stash Unload for like $10. I don't remember what I paid for it. It was more than that though. This is the book version that came out at Market. I started this in 2021, January of 2021. I bought the pattern at Market as a Market release in 2020. That's the last time I bought anything from Market. And then I kitted it up with Dreama from that store. She sends a really good birthday coupon, and I use that to buy the floss and the fabric. It was still very expensive. And that's the other thing. I don't want it sitting in a closet. Like, I spent a fortune on that fabric and that floss. It was significantly more expensive to kit that up than Lady of the Flag because she used DMC. And the fabric was much less yardage-wise. And then also the Constitution fabric is printed and this is hand-dyed. So anyway, I don't want it in a closet. I want to get it up. So I'm going to go see what I can find at Hobby Lobby. If Hobby Lobby had a frame in stock that I could use, it would be affordable to have it framed there. Because the Shire cost $60-ish to frame because I could use a frame that they had. So we'll see. That's all we can do. We're gonna go to Hobby Lobby tomorrow. So it's done. It's done. It's done. It's been almost 2 years, 20 months of my life. It did feel a little anticlimactic, probably because I wasn't planning to finish it 4 months early. But I did, and I love it. And now I'm kind of like not cruising, but I am like craving finishing things. So if you'll all remember, you don't remember, I did a Flosstube, a whip parade in January of 2022, and these were all my whips. So the only ones that are left from 2020-2021 are Celtic Autumn, Glitter Village, which I think I'm going to do another 1 or 2 and then abandon because I don't like the fabric, Spirit of Christmas, Coming to America, which is the Mayflower piece, May, which is a knitting project, and Welcome to Hogwarts. And since I finished Consider the Lilies so early, I wanted what I call my palette cleansers. That piece, Consider the Lilies, although it wasn't terribly difficult, even though I made a bajillion mistakes, you'd think it was intensive. So I decided to work on a palette cleanser. And my palette cleansers are Country Magic Stitch, because I do mine on Ada, and they are tent stitch, depending on the count. Welcome to Hogwarts, which is what I'm currently working on, is this one. And I do them on an 18 count Ada with 2 strands. So I do the loop start and I'm off to the races. I'm using the called for DMC. I love these colors. I know where I want to put it. And here it is so far. So I had up to here done all the way over, and then on Monday, really, I had done a little bit of this blue, and then I did most of this and had to rip it out, and then I started this yesterday, and it says welcome to here, but it's hard to read until I get it filled in because it's a cream colored yarn on it's cream on a white Ada, so it's hard to see. However, I was going, and I have 2 copies of this pattern, and neither of them take up the whole page, but one of them is missing 10 stitches all the way, and I didn't know, and that's the one I was working on. So I'm gonna have to play around with the pattern a little bit because I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not ripping all that out, so we're gonna figure it out. That's all we can do. So anyway, Welcome to Hogwarts, Country Magic Stitch, and it's looking pretty good. I'm planning to work on this until it's done. I should be able to finish it before the end of the month. I can't imagine I won't. We'll see though, you know. If my mom was here, she'd say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride, Catherine. Because I just think I'm going to get everything done. But, whoops. I think it's beautiful. And from here, like looking at it in the camera, you'd never know it was 10 stitch. Like when you're close, you can tell, kind of, but not really. I think with the 2 strands on 18, you get very good coverage. So anyway, my plan is to finish that, and then instead of having a small right now at work, I'm working on May, which is the knitting project that I've been working on forever, for an embarrassingly long period of time. And that's by Dre Stitches. So here's that. And I picked this back up today. I had finally gotten to where I was breaking for the... So I had done the body, and then you break it and you work in 4 pieces, and then you kind of close it and add the sleeves in. So I'm doing this in gray. This is a Woolies by Lion Brand. So it is 80% acrylic with 20% wool. I love this stuff. It's my favorite yarn to use for sweaters. So you can see I got quite a bit done. Oops. So what I've worked on is right here. So you can see where it's come up from the rest of the sweater. So I don't think I'll have this done in 2 weeks. I don't knit as fast as I used to, and I'm only giving this maybe 25-30 minutes a day. But I am working on it again, and I definitely want to finish it. Oh, I just lost a very fancy stitch marker that is a paper safety pin. So what I do is, instead of using a stitch marker to mark the beginning of a round, I use like either a safety pin or something that I'll know that is the beginning, because you're knitting in a circle, so it's hard to tell where the actual beginning is, and unless you have a stitch marker that says beginning of round, which I used to have, how do you know? So that's May, and then when that's done, and when Welcome to Hogwarts is done, it would leave me with Glitter Village, Celtic Autumn, Spirit of Christmas, and Coming to America as my only pre-2022 starts. And I might be able to knock off another one of those before the end of the year. We'll see. So that is 2 more whips. Believe it or not, I'm not done. I have been, like I said, I've been like a wild woman. Has it been a really long time since I filmed? So then, the day after, or maybe the day that I saw you all last time, I had told you that I had either just started or wanted to start. I don't remember which. Owl Forest to the railway station. There's that. And I told you that Jen happened to have the colors of floss that were needed. So I have everything in my Bitsy Bob. This is actually the first, or no, the second one I ever got from Kelly. And it was a birthday present in 2020, I think. So it is, I think it's Blackbird fabric, and then it's just very me. Except for the sampler stitcher part. The rest is me. Oh, the colors are me. So there's that. So I'm using the called for floss, but a 40 count fabric to try to make it so I have enough floss. And in an effort to also not waste floss, where I stopped, I left my tails so I can continue. So there's that. It is very small stitching on 40 count. And this is a Bestitch Me fabric. I don't remember which one. It's beautiful. I think the 40 count looks really nice. It's 1 strand over 2, obviously. But it did make me discover that I need a light. I don't have one. I just use, this is an old fashioned floor lamp that came with the house when my grandparents moved in. And they sent it to an electrician, but the top globe there, it doesn't work, and it never has. So in my stitchy chair, all I have is those 3 lights that you see that are on, and they are not enough. They're really just pretty. So last week I was sitting with my ring light behind me, and that did seem to help a little bit. And then just so you know, the big round thing is this clock here. So I did a lot of it's a lot of that gray. There's 2 skeins of that. And I'm hoping to get back to this one too, because I don't think I'll get this done for Christmas. I can't imagine, because I have other goals, but I would love to give this to Mark for our anniversary in February. And that feels pretty doable. Now let me make sure that's all of my whips. Okay, that is all of my whips. I had a lot of whips and finishes, and it was a busy couple weeks. So I had told you guys that I got a lovely package in the mail last week. And there are a couple things that I was particularly excited about. One of them was this. I have always wanted to stitch this. It's been in my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list since it came out. I showed you the pin keep. I have always loved this Halloween squirrel, even though I hate squirrels, the little bastards, excuse my language. Eating trying to bury nuts in my basil plant, trying to climb in the window. We have a problem with squirrels. Last year they ate my zucchini. The summer before that it was my tomato plants. I was digging. Do you know I have to keep rocks in all of my plants so they don't dig? There's nuts all over the porch. They're hanging out on top of the air conditioner, knocking on the window, visiting Fra. It's not okay. I am not a fan. I do, however, love this because I love foxes, even though I know they're scavengers and they're not good. I don't have foxes in my neighborhood, so they can still be cute. So that is adorable. Teresa Kogut's Snarky Cat is fun. So it was just a lot of like fun patterns that I have always wanted, but probably never would have gotten for myself. Just because there's a whole wide world of patterns out there. And then I'm very excited for this. This is Hands On Designs Memorial Day. So I'll start this on Memorial Day. But she sent it with the sulky threads. So they're all there for me, which is so helpful. So I can't wait to start that, but not for a while. And then I got myself a few things. My Joann's is going out of, they're moving, so they're going out of business. So I got myself this fun book, Little House in the Suburbs, but it's about really self-sufficient living. I'm never gonna have chickens. I'm not a farmer, but I like cooking. I like housemaking, homemaking, whatever. So I got this to read. And then Nicholas's mother sent me a onesie, and I ordered a little Peter Rabbit to iron onto it, but she wants me to put his name, and I'm terrible at embroidering. I've only ever done it like twice. So I got this kit for like 70% off, and it's a DMC embroidery kit, so I can practice a little bit before I try to put his name on something. And I think that's all I got. Oh, I'm lying. And I got this embroidery stitching tool. Just because. And then I got a 2-month early birthday present from my friend Bernadette. And it's going to be a birthday start because I am just never going to get my whips down. And it was Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. I have always loved this. Jen Lee from Corks and Stitches has been working on it this year in her year of 222 new starts, although each one for her has been a new start. And then Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, right? That's her name, from Oregon, Washington, one of those two. I get Oregon and Washington people confused. I'm sorry. She's been working on it, although she is leaving the Halloween houses off. But I have always loved this, and you can get it on Amazon, and you get it directly from Carriage House. So my friend ordered that. Here is, without the glare, all of the houses. I'm actually going to go tomorrow. The reason I took it out of the container was to make a photocopy of the DMC list, which is huge. I'm using the DMC, not the silks. And actually, she says generally DMC colors are not as dark as needlepoint silks. And I actually prefer the lighter, the DMC version from what I've seen. So I'm going to go to Joann's tomorrow before I go to Hobby Lobby, get what I can from my Joann's that's got everything 50% off. And then when I go to Hobby Lobby, buy what I couldn't get at Joann's. That's at least my plan right now. So that'll be a tomorrow problem. So I'm very excited to start that. I don't have fabric for it. I don't know. It's big. It's another, why do I like these big projects? I might do it on Ada. We'll see. I don't know. But I am excited. So anyway, I hope that you're all well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. I hope you enjoyed my finishes, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.